Hi, this is Russ McClellan, designated broker at Keller Williams Realty. If you're thinking of selling your home, why hire us? We have a few simple goals. First, our job is to make you more money in less time by exposing your property to more people than anyone in the business. Second, we will simplify the process. Your Keller Williams expert advisor will identify simple solutions in a real estate world that can sometimes get a tad complex. Third, we will save you time. We will handle the entire process necessary to achieve your real estate goal so you don't have to. We work for you. Finally, we keep you out of trouble. Let's face it, we live in a litigious society and real estate is a big ticket item. Truly knowing how to do the right things in the right order is very important. Hey, call us today and let's talk about how we can achieve these goals for you. 509-888-0038 or simply stop by our office located directly across the street from McDonald's at 1111 North Mission Street. Hi, this is Russ McClellan, operating partner and designated broker of Keller Williams Realty, North Central Washington. Hey, thanks for tuning into our show each and every Saturday morning. I wanted to share the fact that we've been in business now about a year and a half. We have over 50 real estate agents, and there's a reason for that. Mainly, it's relationship and culture. You know, sometimes people definitely look at the money and the commissions and the splits. But at the end of the day, it's about relationships, trust, that familial connection that you have at Keller Williams. That's what we strive to do, and that's how we look at our clients. We now have offices in Brewster, Chelan, and Wenatchee. We have agents in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee and Cashmere and Leavenworth, Chelan, Brewster. Really having a good time. So if you're interested in learning about why is Keller Williams Realty growing as fast as we've grown and have as many agents that are focused on their clients as we do, give us a call at 509-888-0038 or just stop by and see us at 1111 North Mission Street right here in Wenatchee.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. And here's Russ.
Hey, welcome back to Home Sweet Home and Russ McClellan and Friends. Every show on the fourth segment, we talk about lending with Michael Maher and Prime Lending, and I got Michael calling in. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Appreciate it, as always. We're going to get into some good stuff today, and one of the things I wanted to start out by is talking a little bit about, from your perspective as a lender, what should people that are in the forbearance program, and for people that maybe don't know what that is, it probably doesn't apply, but there's a lot of people that have been told that they don't have to make their mortgage payments while under this situation with the virus and the pandemic. But we have some concerns about that, or at least some things that should be talked about so maybe they don't get hurt. Is there some points that you would like to make to the listeners out there that maybe are listening and have a forbearance or they're in the middle of a forbearance right now with their current mortgage payments?
Yes, definitely. So kind of the first step is to reach out to your mortgage servicer. And honestly, most of them now, as soon as you call into their 1-800 number or their service department number, it almost instantly says, if you're having trouble due to the pandemic, please press a certain button and it redirects you to one of their departments that is specializing in those particular requests. So that's the first step that I would encourage anyone to make. And then they can really walk you through the guidelines of what they're allowing their clients to do during this time. And some of the questions that I might have people ask would be, how long is my forbearance good for? Meaning, how many payments am I allowed to be not forgiven, but basically pushed out and basically tacked onto the end of the loan? And we'll get into that a little bit later. How many months am I free from making that payment? And then when I'm done with my forbearance, and hopefully I'm still employed and such, what happens at that point? Do I need to make a lump sum payment with all of my missed payments? Or is it get tacked on to the end of the loan, and does my payment go up a little bit to offset the difference? Or does it just add on an extra, if it's 3 to 6 months, does it just add on an extra 3 to 6 months payments at the end of that? And then also another good question to ask would be, how does this affect my credit? Am I able to apply for different credit? What do you guys report exactly to the 3 credit bureaus to know how that might affect as well? But if you're in forbearance, I would encourage you to probably not go and take out new credit if you can, because in my experience, when I do run credit, I can see that a loan is in forbearance. And at that point, it kind of opens up a different set of guidelines that we have to go off of.
Yeah, I think those are great points about people that are in forbearance programs currently. A couple things I'd like to mention, I know we've talked about it in the past, is one of those solutions to people, if they find out after they call and they realize that they're going to have 3 to 6 months worth of payments due in 1 month at the end of this forbearance. That's an unrealistic expectation for 90% of the people. So I would encourage them to refinance. I mean, what are rates now? 2.8% on a 30-year fix, Michael? Something crazy?
Yeah, typically. And if it's cash out, you can be low threes and such. So, I mean, if that's the case and you need to take advantage of it, now is the time in all of history to take advantage of it. It's basically free money after you account for, if you itemize your taxes and such, and obviously consult with a professional accountant, but it's basically free money at this point.
Yeah, so if you're going to find yourself, you got to be strategic and you have to be proactive so you don't find yourself in foreclosure. And that, once that happens, let's say the forbearance lightens up, and we're not saying these are all these forbearance programs are the same, because they're not. The mortgage industry was told that this is something they needed to do. Everybody applied their own policies and procedures and structure to those forbearance programs. And quite often they're going to get, they're not always in the favor of the borrower. They're quite often in favor of the lender. Now the lender may change the rules again, even though it's not something that they have to do. They might, but maybe they won't. And so if you're thinking about, if you look at your interest rate and I don't even know, maybe even just 6 months ago, you probably can refinance that, buy yourself an extra month without a payment, and then save yourself a potential foreclosure. Because if you wait and you go into foreclosure, you might not be able to refinance. So yeah, that's a good thing that they could maybe give you a call. And while we're thinking about it, Michael, what's the best number to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so the best number at this point is 425-760-8824. I have a 509 number also. That's an office number, but the cell phone I've had for a long time is typically the best to get a hold of me.
And that was 425
760
8824. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Oh, 8824. That's okay.
8824. So Michael Mulher with Prime Lending, 425 760 8820.
8824.
8824. What do we got? We got the COVID, man. I'm not sure what's going on. I had the COVID-18. I was a precursor.
Before.
Yeah, I got to go get that tested. If something's going to hit, you just do it well, right? Do it before everybody else.
Nope, exactly.
So here's the other thing to think about. Sell your house. You might just be really surprised how much equity you have, and then go borrow money at 2.8% on that dream home of yours. Some people are downsizing. Some people are upsizing. Some people want to shop. Some people want this. Some people want that. But there's never probably been a better time to borrow money, and there's probably never been a better time to sell your house. Here's the reality. And I know this isn't going to be a good thing across the board because we're not ready for it. But I was doing some calculations, and even if my conservative estimates are correct, when you think about how many people have been told across so many industries that they can make the same amount of money they used to make, and they had to live in Seattle, and now they can live anywhere they want as long as they have an internet connection and work from home. So I've been in Chelan for 30 years selling real estate. And the vast majority of our buyers in the last couple decades have been from the west side of the Cascades. But they've been second home investors, second home buyers, and or retirees for the most part. We just unlocked the primary residence buyer from Seattle that can now make the same amount of money in their life that they had to live in Seattle to make. Now they can live in Wenatchee or Cashmere or Leavenworth or Chelan, and they're coming over here with bucketfuls of money. Not only money in W-2 form, because they're making a much, much higher wage relative to our local industry, or local economy, but they also are probably selling an asset if they're going to buy a primary residence, and that asset has gone up in value considerably. So they're walking over with $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, and frankly, that's going to create an economic disparity between us and them, meaning us, meaning the people that work and live in this area that are not in those fields that are, typically based in Seattle. So what that really means is there's an invasion, and I say that in a polite term, but there's an invasion of buyers from the west side to the east side, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. And that's just America. So what we have to do is get prepared for this. One way you can get prepared for it is if you sell now, you might be able to still get in on something that's more affordable, because if this continues, which I have a feeling it might be a permanent reality for us, the numbers are astronomical. If you think about millions and millions of people that live in the rain on the west side of the mountains, not raining every day, but you know what I mean. It's not nearly as nice as weather climate as we have, plus the lifestyle that we have, the rivers, the lakes, the mountains, less crime, less homelessness, less taxation. There's just a lot of reasons why people want to live where we live. We get it. So my point is, this is a weird time in history. You can be a seller, take that equity, avoid a foreclosure potentially, and then go borrow money at historically low rates, which will help soften the burden of you paying maybe a little more than you would have a year or two ago. But if you wait a year from now, Michael, maybe after the election in November, nobody really knows what's going to happen, but I doubt rates are going lower.
No, in the beginning of 2019, we saw rates hitting in the fives.
Yeah, so beginning of 19.
As the economy continued. Yeah, beginning of 19. So, and then all of a sudden we're talking twos. So, and that happened over the course of 6 months. Yeah, or a little bit less. So yeah. It can change on the flip of a dime, and all of a sudden, that borrowing power that you had starts to dwindle pretty fast.
Yeah, sometimes when you can get a 1%, like if rates were 5% in 2019 and now they're under 3%. My advice to people is don't argue over $5,000. You have the luxury of the cost of money being half of what it was a year ago. Just pay it. Just get in, because I would hate for you to. I'm very concerned for people that want to argue over the principle of $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 when they figure that the cost of money is half as expensive as it was. They sometimes miss that. And then they find themselves 6 months or a year from now, the appreciation rate, I believe, is going to go crazy. Already is, because we have way more buyers now than we have sellers by far. And the rates could jump back up to 5%. So you're going to get double hit. Time will tell, right, man?
Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, we're coming to the end of the segment. Is there anything you want to leave them with? Just, you're always available to do, counseling about their position, right?
Yeah, 100%. Always available at 425-760-8824. Give me a call if you have a question about refinancing, enhancement loans, regular loans. We do all sorts of creative things. So.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. Be safe. Look forward to seeing you again soon on our Zoom calls. Everybody, be safe out there. Be smart. Live your life, though, right? Just be smart doing it. And as always, every once in a while, throw that phone in the drawer. Get outside. Be aggressive. Be creative. Have fun with your friends and family. Don't let this get you down, and maybe take a break from judgment of other people just a little bit on social media. Have a great Saturday. Thanks for tuning in to the Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends show. We'll see you next Saturday.
I have a new home, home sweet home. Thanks, Keller Williams. I love my dream home.
The preceding program is sponsored in part by Keller Williams, Prime Lending, and Frontline Real Estate.
More complete coverage, more breaking stories. Here, News Radio 560, KPQ1S.